Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip, and welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you for allowing me to be part of your day, guys. I really appreciate you, all your emails, your information, everything. Thank you so much. So it is November 11th, so that's 11/11. Hey. So I wish everybody a happy season because this is when things start happening, right? So now we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, and then we have Christmas, and Gypsy's all over that shit, isn't it? She got plans. Well, she's got plans for 2026. Her baby apparently is going to quadruple in size. What's going on? What's going on? I guess she thinks in a year, somehow, some way, she will be able to fly into any country she wants to go on an Alaskan, maybe Disney cruise. I'm not sure Disney's going to let her in. I'm not sure any international waters are going to want her in there other than swimming, maybe with the sharks. Hey, guys. I got a live stream tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd love for you guys to join me, please, if you can. I know some of you are working, getting off work. Some of you, though, are in other countries, and this is good time for you. And, listen, this is when we're going to do it today, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please, if you could join, I'd love you to. We're going to talk about where we're at with Gypsy. Now, I am proud to be part of the truth movement in bringing out the truth about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and that is that she did 8.5 years for plotting, planning, and I believe wholeheartedly executing the demise of her mom personally. I don't know why she hated that woman so much. I don't know. I don't even know if she hated her so much or if there was just something that she hated so much. And this is where it went. This is how she released it. And that's the concern that I have today. Because if there's a baby, even if there's not, there are weaker people in the world. And if Gypsy still has that rage inside of her, how does it get released? That's what I want to talk about. The fact that she offered up her child in her mind and that people actually take advantage of children is something that we need to talk about. The fact that we only guess on when Dee Dee died. We don't know. You know how we know? Because Gypsy and Nick said he did it and he got there at this time. And this is when they left the taxi. And this is when he got there by taxi. That's how they know. Do you think Dee Dee died at the hands of Nick? And if you think so, do you think Nick unalived a woman who was already dying? Or do you think perhaps maybe Nick, there was a lot of confusion in the house, things he had never seen, and Gypsy perhaps implanted memories inside of him? Do you remember when she did that? I don't know how she got awake after the sleeping pills I gave her, Nick. I don't know how she got awake after the sleeping pills I gave her, Nick. Didn't you hear her scream your name? No, I didn't. I thought she just laid there. No, I heard it. We don't know what she implanted in his mind. You know, we don't know what was set up in that room to make Nick believe if if Dee Dee was unalived and he thought she was alive. We don't know how creative, because we know how manipulative and we see how creative Gypsy can be. We don't know, right? All we know is that the time of death on Dee Dee's autopsy report is strictly because of what was said by a known liar, and that's Gypsy Rose. Forget what Nick was said. He's going by what Gypsy said. Remember the sleeping pill? Oh, she took her sleeping pill and she'll be out of it, Nick. Completely out of it. So we don't know when Dee Dee died. We know when they said she died. but we don't know when she died. There are content creators that have shown when she scratched off the calendar. The last date she scratched off the calendar was on the 7th, right? But then there are people that saw her in the hospital on another date. There are people that say that they saw her on the 10th. But how does that work when they left? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't go by when she died. It's not like she had some sort of breathing apparatus on her that stopped at a certain time, which I gave a little bit of credence to that. Could that possibly happen? Is there any way that no, she didn't have anything. It's just by what was said. Well, that's not good enough for me, in my opinion, right? And then I want to talk about the book because I don't think that book has been taken down and she's going to get a new one. I think perhaps the company said, "Hey, we want you to pay us some money back because now we found out that you're lying about the book and you're not even taking this book was taken off the shelves, I think, after she said, I didn't read the book. Somebody else read. I didn't read the book. That's when I think the book company said, we've already taken a loss on this book. You know, we've already taken a loss. Now she's admitted lying. Now we're going to get a lawsuit against her unless she corrects this book at her dime, on her dime, because she's the one that fucked it up. Why would the book company reward her by paying her? That's not our government. Why would they reward her by paying her after they probably took a loss on the book to begin with? And this is just a way for them to at least maybe even break even after she admitted to lying. That's when the books came off the shelves, right? The books aren't even on the shelves anymore. And then she gets pissed at us. And you can hear the snout and snoot in the bullshit. Well, you can hear the snoot out of the snout in the bullshit of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, right? When she says things in a certain tone, it's like she's angry at us. You said it. Don't get angry at us because they made you take the book back and do some work. I mean, that's what it is. You said you wanted a job. You got paid for this. Do it right. If you do it right the first time, you don't have to do it again. That's my dad taught me that. If you're going to take on something, do it right the first time. This way, you don't have to go back and do it again. And it shows some integrity in your work and pride in your work and character in your work. Just do it. Gypsy wasn't taught things like this, but she knows about things like this because she's talked about things like this when it talks to people online. When she talks to people, get a job, she'll say. Get a job, Gypsy. When you get a job, you have to keep the job. How do you think you keep the job? By doing what you're supposed to do on the job, right? So do it correctly. You said you didn't do the job right. You admitted that, Gypsy. You said you didn't read the book. You didn't have time to read the book, though we heard you say to Christy, you read the book about 50 times. I'm so proud of you, she said. That's an accomplishment. When you heard her read her Kindle version of that book, it was each page was a surprise to her, in my opinion. And that's the way it read. I mean, if you have a copy of the Kindle book, you should re-listen to it. You know, not the whole book, it's a waste, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We do have the version of the book on this channel. We read the whole book, right? Unbelievable, unbelievable. And we'll talk a little bit about the FOIAs and the stuff that has come out in the FOIAs and how does Ryan fit in anymore? And why is he still trying to fit into a space? Now the space is the size of a little Ferrari and he still has a fucking massive pickup truck and it ain't fitting in there, my boy. It ain't fitting in there. And why is Ken staying? And why don't you think? I think Ken was told that it's not going to be easy for Gypsy to get pregnant. And, you know, maybe she should be on birth control. And, but, you know, according to them now, the reason why this happened is because he was wearing a condom in the shower and the friction and everything with the water and I never heard of that. I mean, is it like those bathing suits that kind of disappear in the water? So that shit's purposeful. I would think a condom. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. But then again, I'm a gay woman. I don't know. To me, I don't see why the water would ruin it. That just doesn't make any sense to me, as there's a lot of liquid that can get on a condom. But Gypsy wants to pretend. She wants to convince people of that. Okay, I've never heard of that. Please don't wear condoms in water. They will evaporate. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am. You're not. Please join me on my live today at 5 p.m. It'd be great. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to check out my other channel if you're interested in some other things. That's Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy One Skip. And my other channel, which is a lot more serious channel, where there's some table talk and discussions about real things that are going on in this world, and some special guests that you would know from this sphere. And that is The Argument with Toddy One Skip It. Okay? Guys, you can hit me up at toddyoneeskip@gmail.com. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your memberships, the support, the love, the time you've given me. Even if it's 1.5 speed or 2.0 speed or whatever it is, I appreciate it. Thank you for the Cash Apps. Thank you for the PayPals. Thank you for the, I already said the memberships, but thank you again for the subscriptions, the likes, the shares, and the comments. And again, the time. Thank you. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Never be Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Take care. Bye.
I borrowed a little Breeze lockpicking set to get in, but I'll lock up on my way out. But I think it's going to be good. Howdy, y'all. Jimmy Bobby here, coming to you live from Dr. Frank's Psychiatric Services and Bagel Shop. Is your soul feeling about as empty inside as this bagel? Because Dr. Frank can fill both of yous up with love, cream cheese, and prescription strength serotonin. There's a bagel here for every diagnosis. We got gluten-free for the anxious, double-baked for the bitter, and the new therapeutic jalapeno for those working through your rage management issues. Where the bagels are soft, the breakdowns are hard, and every order comes with a side of emotional stability. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to these satisfied patients. Well, I come up here to see Dr. Frank for some impulse control issues I've been having. Left with a dozen bagels and a restraining order. Still the best service in 3 counties. I came in for help with my abandonment issues. Dr. Frank didn't help me at all, but the bagel was warm, which is more than I can say about my ex. Came for the Asiago, stayed for the therapy. 10 out of 10, would cry again. I didn't think therapy could heal me, but when Dr. Frank handed me that bagel and told me to face my feelings, y'all, I broke down. Right there by the cream cheese pumps and the drink fountains. Before I found the bagel shop, I was sad broke and emotionally constipated. Now I'm just broke. So come on down to Dr. Frank's Psychiatric Services and Bagel Shop. The therapy's optional, the bagels are emotional, and the cream cheese, well, it's expired, but still delicious. All right, y'all. We got 2 days before Dr. Frank's back from that big fancy meeting in the city. Let's party!